The Pigman by Paul Zindel. Presentation created by Khaled Abdullah. John is one of the three main characters. As a freshman, he was the bathroom bomber. He used to be notorious in his school, but because of his good looks, he got away with everything. Now, John is a 16-year-old sophomore. Lorraine Jensen is another main character of The Pigman. She starts off as a person that has extreme paranoia, but after she meets John Conlon, they are friends. Lorraine and her mother don't have the best relationship, but they do appreciate each other's being. Mr. Angelo Pignotti is the main character of the book. Mr. Pignotti is a lonely, widowed, retired electrician who lives alone in a messy house in John and Lorraine's neighborhood. John describes him as in his late 50s and pretty big. He and his wife Conchetta had shared a love of jokes, gourmet food, and wine. He is lost without her and mourns deeply for her. Lorraine's mom has a hard life. She is a nurse for the elderly. She is rude to Lorraine, telling her that she is not pretty and that she wears her clothes funny. She tells Lorraine to stay home from school to clean the apartment, telling Lorraine that school isn't teaching her anything anyway. John's dad is one stressed-out guy. First of all, he has an incredibly stressful job as the commodities broker on the coffee exchange, where he works with John's brother, Kenny. John has always had conflicts with his father, and they do not get along well. John's mother, which he refers to as Old Lady, is a stay-at-home mother. The truth is, she cares about her family, but not as much as her house. She's always making sure the house is nice and tidy, and she's always telling John things like wash the dishes and that sort, which he doesn't like. Norton Kelly is a tall, good-looking guy that is friends with John and Lorraine. As a child, he used to be called the Marshmallow Kid because he stole marshmallows from a store once. Also, when he was a kid, he used to play with dolls. This led to him getting bullied for it. His mother was confused on why people didn't think it was okay for a boy to play with dolls. Dennis Coben is a friend of John and Lorraine. He's usually paired with Norton Kelly, and the two are described as demented. Of the pair, Dennis is the follower, and Norton is more assertive. John says that Dennis is not bright and notes that he sometimes talks so slowly he has brain damage, people think. And he does hold the record. Chapters 1 through 3 are the intro chapters. John introduces himself by describing himself and his life as a freshman. Lorraine introduces herself by also describing herself. She also gives us info on the other characters in the book, like Miss Cricket and Miss Stewart. John and Lorraine's school was called Franklin High School. It was where John Conlon was the bathroom bomber. It was also where he met Norton, Dennis, and Lorraine. New York is the third most populated state in the United States of America. It is where The Pigman takes place. The story takes place in almost everywhere in New York, including Manhattan, Staten Island, Brooklyn, and Queens. For the next couple of slides, I will be giving different possibilities of themes from The Pigman. The themes are lies and deceit, mortality, family, and home. All of the people in the book have lied or deceived each other. John is a non-stop liar to anyone and everyone. Lorraine almost always lies to her mother. Mr. Pignotti lies about his wife being in California. And Norton and Dennis are deceitful thieves and lie all the time. I'm sad to say that death is everywhere in The Pigman. Mr. Pignotti dies, his wife died, Bobo died, and Lorraine's mother tends dying patients. John is scared that his father will die. Mr. Pignotti is so mournful at his wife's death that he cannot even admit that she is dead. In The Pigman, John and Lorraine's families are very dysfunctional. On the other hand, John, Lorraine, and Mr. Pignotti make a good so-called family. Mr. Pignotti doesn't have children, so he lavishes John and Lorraine with presents and attention. Lorraine and John never had a kind, generous father figure, so they easily slip into the role of Mr. Pignotti's children. John and Lorraine clearly don't feel at home in their real homes. They feel comfortable in Mr. Pignotti's house, and ironically, this results in his death. It is the lack of a comforting home that forces John and Lorraine to seek one with Mr. Pignotti. The point of view of the story is first-person alternating. It is when two characters share a first-person point of view. In this book, every odd chapter is John's point of view, and every even chapter is Lorraine's. An example of symbolism that I found is at the end of chapter 3. John says, "But you can't really say we murdered him, not murdered him." This symbolizes that
created using Powtoon.